All right, the Lions have been unexpectedly linked to a linebacker, all-pro linebacker, defensive end. We're going to get into that. Plus, we're going to look at the playoff picture before we head into this game against the Buffalo Bills, what the Lions need to do these last 4 weeks. Also, look at the latest mock draft and who the Lions have. I know it's early. We don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but it's interesting to see kind of the direction that is going to be available at the end of the first round. And at the end, Zack Zenner highlights. And you're asking yourself, why are we going to do that? Just because. I thought Zack Zenner was so good. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. But it's just like, we've come a long way. No offense to Zack Zenner. It's just like, we've come a long way with our personnel and where we're at. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Here it is. And by the way, before we get into this, if you've been watching us for a long time, you're in Michigan, you're in the Midwest, if you want to advertise on our channel, hit us up at sportstalkdetroit@gmail.com. Let's just have a conversation. Make sure it makes sense for both of us. But let us know if that's something you're interested in. We can talk about it. Okay. Here it is. Micah Parsons. The father of Micah Parsons said he would welcome a trade to Detroit Lions if they can't get a deal worked out. He said these are the 3 teams he wants to go to: Kansas City, Detroit, and Pittsburgh. Now, remember, Micah Parsons famously tweeted that ain't nobody want to go to Detroit or something like that. It's funny. Now, as much as I hated that tweet, totally disagree. This is kind of interesting. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but check this out. He says his father is like, yeah, would love him to go to Pittsburgh because him and TJ Watt, that'd be unfair. Detroit, him and Aiden Hutchinson, that would be like cheating. I love it. And so it's like, whoa, here's a guy that would, it's crazy, right? So it's just the bigger picture in here is like people actually want to come here and see what's up with the Lions. He wants to leave the Dallas Cowboys to come here to Detroit. I love that. After the Cowboys' latest baffling loss against the Bengals, Amani Oruwariye, remember that guy? Remember, Oruwariye had like one season where I was like, this dude, shutdown corner. This guy's unbelievable. And then he fell off. We cut him. He never plays. Goes there. He's making mistakes. When we played the Dallas Cowboys, we were torching him. Oruwariye. Again, how far we have come. Okay, next thing. I think so. That's interesting to me, and let me know your thoughts in the comments on that one. Another thing that's just kind of come up from the last couple days is that there's a report that Aaron Glenn is very interested in the Jets head coaching vacancy. Again, it's a report, it's a rumor. Makes a good headline, but I don't doubt it. I think about it. He played there, and he also played with the Saints. 2 openings that are going to come up. I think Aaron Glenn 100% is gone. I think rightfully so, deserving shout out to him. However, I don't think Ben Johnson's a lock to leave, but we'll get more into that in just a second. Okay, here is, I know Craig has shown this before, and I just think it's really cool to see visually. Now, we've looked at it a couple different ways. We don't know for sure on this. It depends on what others do, of course. But here's just the thing. What it shows is that I know the Lions are 1 game ahead of Minnesota, and they're 1 game ahead of the Eagles. However, because of tiebreakers, because we already beat Minnesota, because of the Eagles' schedule coming up, you can see that we have to win. If we win 3 out of 4 games, we're the number 1 seed. So I believe that because even if the Eagles win out, we have the tiebreaker against them. I know that for sure. But against Minnesota, I'm not exactly sure if we lose to Minnesota right here. But Minnesota would have to win out, and we would still get it. So if Minnesota loses at any point in these next 3 games before they play us, division's ours, number 1 seed. Feel great about it. So we need to win 3 out of 4, 100%. Then you can see if we win 2 out of the next 4 games, we're in great shape as well. We can even just win 1 game. As long as it's Minnesota, we would win the division home playoff game. But that 1 seed is that's really what we want. So, that 1 seed is so huge. Okay, let me know in the comments. I forgot to ask. Micah Parsons, are you in on that or just out just because of the comments that he made? Or it's like, oh, yeah, I'm not an idiot. That guy's an all-pro. Like, if we get him to us, let's do it. Or not. Let me know in the comments. Okay. So we've looked at the playoff seeding. I think it's – or the playoff picture is awesome, and I think we're in a great spot there. And I think this Buffalo matchup – we'll get to the Buffalo matchup here in just a second. But if you look at the Lions' schedule to close out, we know it by now, but it's Buffalo, at Chicago, at San Francisco. I mean, it's like, say what you want, but those are tough games. On the road, late in the season, it's just going to be tough. There's no doubt about it. And then Minnesota, of course, right? It's just kind of playing for a lot there at the end of the season. So this game is huge. It's we all know that. I think because it's a big name, big like heavyweight matchup, it's a big game, but it's another huge game, and I love our chances at home. I love the home crowd. Another thing, basically the latest mock draft. Just want to show you that too. The latest mock draft has us going with an interior offensive lineman from Ohio State, and I don't have to spend a lot of time on him, but I do think the Lions are in an interesting spot. You've got Zeitler's older. He's 35. Glasgow's older. You got Mahogany, who has played a little bit. He actually got a few snaps last week, but he's been out with a sickness. He hasn't really he's just an unknown still. But just know this. Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, they've said multiple times, and we're in good hands to know that they said that the offensive line is the team. And by the way, I'm surprised that I was just thinking about this, that the offensive line has not gotten a game ball at the end of the game. I've been waiting for that, where he's just like, offensive line, get up here. But he hasn't done that yet. It's given Jake Bates like 6 game balls. Love it. Okay. Let me know in the comments if you agree with that. I just think offensive line is where we're going to go. We've got defensively, I mean, you get Derek Barnes back, Aiden Hutchinson back. You get these guys back from injury. You start looking at our defense. It's pretty solid. Aleem McNeil's locked up for a while. I feel pretty good about our defense suddenly. I say suddenly just because it was like we were working towards getting our defense ready. Our defense looks really good. A lot of injuries, but we're going to get those guys back. So it's like, man, that offensive line, you got Penei Sewell, of course. Taylor Decker can give us another year. But what is Ragnow? I mean, he's playing out of his mind. I mean, he's playing great, and I love him, but just aging along that center guard. So we'll see what we end up doing there. I told you Zack Zenner highlights are coming. Don't worry, just they're coming. But I want to talk about this. There's an article out that season ticket prices just went way up, and it's unfortunate. And it's the world we live in, combined with the Lions are doing outstanding. And the demand is never been higher. Supply and demand. I mean, I hate that it has to be like this, but it just is. And it's like, man, awesome that the Lions fans, the demand is so high. I love that. It's unfortunate that, of course, then that brings up the prices. If you're not going to pay $3,000, somebody else will. So that's the price. If you're not going to pay $5,000, well, somebody else will. So that's the price. So it's a bummer, and I hate to see that it just goes up, especially for those that have stuck in there with the Lions for so long and tried to just be there through the hard stuff, and now it's getting good, and you might have not be able to afford it or whatever the case may be, but it kind of makes sense all around. I see both sides pretty easily. Okay, I don't know. Someone tweeted this, and then I just started looking it up, and it was just like Zack Zenner. The guy ran hard, and he got in quite a bit, and it was like, dude, let's go. He just ran so hard for us. But look at the offense and how we ran offense back then. Looks so different. It was shotgun for Stafford, and it was just like, here you go. Just hand the ball off, and good luck. And you just had to run. I don't know. It was just Zenner, baby. I liked Zenner. Okay. Don't want to get a copyright or anything. All right, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Again, if you if you've been watching us for any length of time, we really don't push for sponsors on this channel or anything like that. We haven't, but it'd be a great fit. It could be a great fit. And let us know. Email us at sportstalkdetroit@gmail.com. Make sure it works for both of us, make sure it makes sense. We're just not going to just do it to do it. We want to make sure it works. So let me know your thoughts, and we'll see all of you on the next one.